bodies? Well, our intestinal cells turn over every 3 to 5 days. So literally every week we have a new GI system. Our blood cells turn over about every 3 months. And in fact, our entire blood supply turns over about every 6 months. So every year, we get 2 blood transfusions in effect. Isn't that amazing? That's the turnover that's going on in our bodies. What about our skeleton? Does our skeleton turn over? It absolutely does. Our skeleton, which most people think is completely static, turns over somewhere between every 2 to 10 years. Right? So I'm 38 years old. My skeleton is basically completely turned over 4 times. Can you believe that? All right? So what we know is happening on the skin is also happening in our cells, tissues, and organs internally. So again, we want to support our cells. We want to support healthy cells, and nutrition is the most important thing we can do to help. Where do you want to be in this continuum? Green, right? You want to maximize that assembly line. You want to maximize that cellular assembly line. But, right, that only lasts for vitamin C 8 to 12 hours. So what do you need to do? You need to be consistent in your nutrition, right? If you want to live in that green area, you need to be consistent in your nutrition. So what's the best way to be consistent? It's to build habits, right? And it's the difference between building habits and making a decision. When my alarm goes off at 4:30 a.m., it's ingrained in me that I'm waking up and I'm going to the gym. Because if I leave it to my mind to make the choice, guess what I'm hitting? The snooze button, right? So it's become ingrained in me. That's my habit. I wake up early to go to the gym. But let's talk about this for a second. Do you know who this is? Yeah. Steve Jobs, right? Founder of Apple Computers. So here are 3 pictures of Steve Jobs throughout the course of his career. And what do you notice is the same in each picture? That ugly, faux, black turtleneck, right? His whole career, he wore the same thing every single day. And when he got asked why he did that, he said it was because he didn't want to make the decision of what to wear every day. He wanted to focus his efforts on more important decisions. Right? So by doing that, his habits increased his efficiency at work. Right? And that's Steve Jobs. So think about that. Day by day, he got time back. He created the habit, and it allowed him to be more efficient in his job. Have you all heard the adage that practice makes perfect? But that's not quite right, is it? I think Yogi Berra improved on that, and he said, perfect practice makes perfect, right? So habits aren't enough. We need to develop healthy habits. And when you do that, just like Steve Jobs, day by day, you're going to become better in your nutritional and your lifestyle habits. Right? And if you do that, you will improve your human condition. Why can I say that? Because there are stacks and stacks and stacks of scientific publications that support what I'm saying. So what's the best way to go about that? You're here, you came here to hear what I have to say, as well as everyone else. You're like-minded. So get together with other like-minded individuals and talk about nutrition. Talk about exercise. Talk about what's working for you and what's not working. Groups are a great way to increase those healthy habits. Find an exercise partner. You guys remember, exercise doesn't have to be a chore. For me, exercise is play. It is fun, and it should be fun for you. So find something you enjoy. Channel that inner child and go play. That's exercise, right? I work out and I jump rope, right? When I was a kid, I called that playing, and now it's a workout and exercise. Find something you enjoy doing. If it's not an individual, I also love exercise classes. And trust me, there's nothing like being with a group of people in a room surrounded by mirrors to keep you motivated and pushing yourselves a little bit harder. Right? And when you do these things consistently, over time, day by day, these things will become second nature to you. Right? And it's when you're doing these things is when nutritional supplementation will help you maintain and achieve optimal health. Right? It'll help you live in that green zone. Right? But let's not talk about just temporarily living in that green optimal zone. Let's talk about maintaining it. Let's not just maintain it, let's shoot it to the moon. Let's stop talking about 1950s Buick factory lines. Why don't we talk about race cars? Let's not talk about rickety old subway trains. Why don't we talk about bullet trains? And when you do this, I promise you that you will build a better, healthier you. Thank you.